Everything you said they already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something that you didn't know.
So in the middle of December, I received the HDPLEX 300, which is the successor to the HDPLEX 250. I shot terabytes of footage doing a really detailed review, but then more S4 inventory came, so I was really focused on getting those boxes out to customers, so I didn't get a chance to edit it all together. By the time I started working on it, I realized a couple things. Number one, it was way too long and boring. Number two, my friend Jay Madison at Tech Everything already beat me to a video review. Number three, I've already discussed my thoughts on the forums, so it's kind of unnecessary rehash for video. Number four, you guys are going to be seeing a lot of the HDPLEX 300 and their other models in my upcoming videos anyways, and it would be a lot of duplicate information, which nobody wants to see that. And number five, I'm not an electrical engineer, so I have no idea what I'm talking about anyways. All that being said, it's still important for me to introduce my YouTube audience to the HDPLEX 300, give it a brief overview, and talk about it and the S4 Mini, because there's a lot of old information that needs to be thrown out and consolidate all the best thinking and ideas into one easy to access video. And plus, it's easier if I only have to use 2 soundtrack clips. So here's the stuff you need to know as quickly as possible. HDPLEX is a fantastic company because its owner is totally on top of customer support. In fact, I want to have as much energy and passion and respect for my customers as Larry does. He is awesome. Without the HDPLEX, there wouldn't be all these runs of S4 Minis because that's most of my customer base. And he was kind enough to contact me about 6 or 7 months back and work with me on the optimal layout for his new HDPLEX for the S4 Mini. So thank you, Larry, for being an awesome guy and working with me in the way that you have. I don't think he actually watches my videos. Ooh, what's new in the HDPLEX 300? Now the biggest change is the layout of the board. You'll see all the connectors are on the top of the board. This means that you can put it next to the motherboard and not have it interfere. Secondly, the cables are a good deal shorter and better optimized for the S4 Mini, while still being long enough to account for custom builds and other Mini ITX projects. The DC jack connector now has 6 wires instead of 4. And of course, there's the whole naming convention. It's the HDPLEX 300. The old HDPLEX was plenty powerful enough for me, but I'm not gonna complain if it gets beefed up. Now, I could talk about the electronics, but you're probably better off learning about it from someone who's not me. Plus, you can look up the specs on the website. My job is just to test it out and see if it actually works, and it does. I built several systems with the HDPLEX 300 so far. I've tried to make it pop, but I've been unsuccessful, and I have another 1080 coming in the mail, and I'll be doing some more tests down the road. Now, the new layout, of course, helps with compatibility, but it also simplifies wiring. If you look where the 24 pin is, you can imagine a nice short 2-inch 24-pin connector, but perhaps the best feature of all is the LED illuminated logo. So in the past month, I've been testing 4 units. All of them worked out fantastic. One I'm putting in my high profile build, which will be announced in spring. Another has gone to a very famous YouTube reviewer. One I still have burning in my test bench, and I'll be testing a 1080 with it. And finally, I've sold one to a customer. So this is not only an awesome successor to the HDPLEX 250, but I think it's a legend in the making. For the last part of this video, let's talk about HDPLEX and S4 Mini specifics. Number one, the whole Velcro thing. So not only was Velcro not a helpful idea, I think it's actually a bad idea. That became a thing because people really questioned the lack of rigid mounts for the HDPLEX and the S4 Mini. The Velcro just made installation difficult. It's completely unnecessary. It's impossible to move the HDPLEX once put in the S4 Mini and the cables are plugged in. And finally, it doesn't help transfer heat. You have a giant heat sink which wraps around the entirety of the S4 Mini, and if you put the brushed aluminum back of the HDPLEX against it, it's gonna really help with your temperatures. Now, instead of Velcro, I recommend that you pick up some thermal padding. This stuff can be bought for as little as $5, but does an excellent job further transferring heat away from the HDPLEX and dissipating it into your bezel. The second thing is stud removal. I have a really old video removing the studs to install the HDPLEX in the S4 Mini. The manufacturer was supposed to not even include studs for this version, but they did anyways, despite the prototypes turning out correctly. But that's neither here nor there. The point is you have to remove them. If they are extra stubborn, you can use some channel locks or whatever you call them in your neck of the woods. Either way, way, make sure you separate the bezel from the inner chassis or you will never get them out with channel locks or with your hands. Now, another note for the new run of the S4 Mini, in case you haven't seen, but there's actually slots on the back of the DC jack connector, so it's 100% compatible with the DC jack that HDPLEX includes. However, you need to know that there are some video cards that are oversized in length and can interfere with the DC jack on the HDPLEX. So if you plan on using those cards, I recommend that you head over to smallformfactor.net to the S4 Mini thread, and you can see how users tackled sticking those cards and the mods that are required into an S4 Mini. I also have a video about how to stick in the Gigabyte 1070 Mini. I've said many times now, but you can watch that here. If you're using a 1070 or above, I recommend the HDPLEX 300. That's simple. I know I have lots of videos on my channel showing smaller power supplies powering ridiculous graphics cards, but that's just modding for fun. Me trying to help you build an S4 Mini, use this. Now for the 1060 and below, I have another video coming for that, but the quick answer is the new Pico style HDPLEX 160, which is probably my favorite power supply, so keep an eye out for that. Go check out my friend Jay Madison's channel and his look at the HDPLEX 300. Also look at smallformfactor.net because there's tons of information there. And finally, keep an eye on my channel for my review of the HDPLEX 160, which is one of the reasons I wanted to shorten this video down because I want to get to that. Have a great day and I'll see you next time.